Hey guys, this is Kunlun, the latest injection-molded, bolt-action, high-performance foam dart blaster from Worker. Yes, it is named after the famous Kunlun mountains in China. A big thank you to IFB for lending me their Kunlun sample for review. I'll be doing an unboxing, followed by chronograph tests, accuracy tests, and my personal opinions about this blaster. It came in a compact box like this. Let's see what's inside. Some simple assembly is required. It comes with an instructional manual. Pause the screen if you want to take a closer look. Worker Gen 3 darts and warning label stickers, which we are not going to use. It comes with the stronger 1.6x 270mm spring and also the weaker 1.4x 250mm spring inside the blaster. Extra O-rings, springs and screws. The standard Worker orange muzzle PCAR. Fiber optic front and rear sights, which look very cool at first, but are useless on their own. I shall elaborate later. 55cm threaded barrel with a decorative barrel cover. The barrel cover is purely for aesthetics. It secures to the barrel with a collet, and the front barrel clearance is adjustable up to about 5.8cm, so you can still attach your own PCAR, SCAR or BCAR. Metal Picatinny rails for the front left and right of the blaster. 5-round magazine with a huge base to match the aesthetics of the wide-looking magwell. Front portion of the blaster with the bottom Picatinny rail as part of its injection molded shell. Metal top rail, which is slightly longer than that of the Harrier. The other half of the blaster shell with the weaker spring in the spring guide, and metal internals like the plunger tube and priming bar. The internals are already lubricated at the factory, but it is good for you to add a little bit more lubricant. There are 2 bearings on each side, and they slide along the slots inside the blaster shell. There is a spring guide inside for the spring to rest in. Just drop the spring in, the plunger, and the entire tube and priming bar. The assembly took me about 10 minutes. It feels very similar to the Harrier, and it's also very easy to swap springs by removing the 4 screws from the top metal rail and 2 screws from the side. For info, there is a detachable Allen key at the bottom front of the blaster. A good idea carried forward from the Harrier with its Allen key at the buttstock. As mentioned earlier, the bottom rail is part of the shell. It will wear out if you put a metal bipod on it. I would prefer it to be metal as well to match the side rails, similar to the Harrier. It looks better and is also more durable. The fine round decorative magazines look really good when loaded into the blaster. However, the release lever is quite far away from the magwell, which makes unloading a bit awkward with the decorative mag and other Talon mags. The magazine also does not drop, and it needs to be tucked slightly to come out. This is how the Kunlun looks like with a 15 round straight Talon mag. Honestly, I don't really like how it looks. Here is a side-by-side comparison of how the Kunlun and the Harrier look like with the 15 round straight Talon magazine loaded inside. See what I mean? Which one do you prefer? Let me know in the comments below. As mentioned earlier, the fiber optic sights are cool but useless. They sit too low on the rail and are impossible to use, unless additional risers are added to the front and back. The buttstock is non-adjustable. Honestly, I'm fine with it, although some players may prefer adjustable stocks. The buttstock padding is friction fit and is large and comfortable. The cheek rest also feels good. Both are made from the same TDART rubber material, which is the same as the hand grip. It has a nice metal palm shelf at the bottom of the grip, which adds to the sniper blaster look. The trigger is metal and the mag release lever is plastic. There is also a safety button to lock the trigger. The white shell has a textured feel to it compared to the Harrier smooth shell. Good if you have sweaty or wet palms. With the strong spring installed, the bolt action prime feels smooth and very manageable. My arm was fine after priming it many times for the purpose of this review, and it is definitely easier to prime than the Harrier's pump action with its 1.6x300 spring. According to Worker, the plunger's effective travel is 3 cm longer than that of the Harrier, which means the Kunlun's plunger tube is also bigger than the Harrier's. They also stated that the Harrier's 1.6 x 300 spring cannot be used for the Kunlun. Let's do an SU check. Very good. Let's try it again, but longer this time. At least 20 seconds. The SU can definitely hold longer than that if I didn't let it go. Excellent as expected. The Kunlun weighs about 2 kg with the decorative barrel cover, but without any magazine, BCAR or sight. Comparatively, the Harrier with Sabre metal internals and with 3D printed side rails and grip plug weighs around 1.5 kg. You can make the Kunlun lighter by designing a 3D printed palm shelf to replace the default metal one. The metal side rails can also be replaced with 3D printed ones. And of course, removing the decorative metal barrel cover will also help to reduce weight. And here is the Kunlun and Harrier side by side. The Kunlun is definitely a long boy and it does hit harder. How hard? Let's check out the Chronograph test. I am also testing with the Harrier's 45 cm barrel to see if a shorter barrel is more effective. Looking at the results, the weaker spring has high standard deviation and does not seem to be very consistent. For the stronger spring, the shorter 45 cm barrel seems to be just a little bit more consistent than the 55 cm barrel in terms of standard deviation. Next up, accuracy tests. I'm aiming for the center mass of the figure 11 cardboard target at 30 meters. It is partly cloudy and the wind is moderate to strong. I'm only using Sabre's 1.3 g TDARTs for the accuracy test today because I have some leftover from the recent Lazarus Island game. Link on the top right corner. Also, the 1.3 g TDARTs have proven to be one of the most accurate darts available, and Worker darts are simply not good enough now. I'm also using a brand new AccuBlu BCAR-18 for today's test. Setting up the Kunlun on the tripod for maximum stability. An LPVO with 3 times magnification, that is roughly 0 to hit a 30 meters target, is used. Changing to the shorter 45cm barrel. Here is the comparison of the results. The grouping for the 55cm barrel seems decent under moderate winds. However, the shorter 45cm barrel does seem promising and did quite well despite the winds becoming stronger after the second shot. A shorter 45cm barrel seems like a viable option for the Kunlun and can possibly replace the longer default 55cm barrel. Overall, the Kunlun is an affordable, entry-level bolt-action sniper blaster that can hit close to 300 FPS out of the box with its excellent performance. Ultimately, I feel that it is a trade-off between FPS and priming speed. Kunlun has a slower bolt-action prime but higher FPS. Harrier has a faster pump-action prime but lower FPS. Personally, I feel that the Kunlun will do quite well at large play areas where the game lasts longer, the pace is lower, and long-range shots are preferred. It is also very fun to plink with, and the bolt action is smooth and relatively easy to prime. With 1.3g TDARTs, the 275 FPS Kunlun has an easier prime than the 260 FPS Harrier, and it may have potential for a custom spring that is stronger than the current 1.6 x 270 one. However, for competitions, fast-paced and short games, close quarter battles or lower FPS games, the pump action Harrier still seems like a better alternative. What do you think of this new Kunlun Sniper Blaster? Let us know in the comments below. Please like and subscribe if you found this review helpful. Thank you and see you.